Shalom Makyam, Wa'akwathiam. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakudash. I'd like to proceed this lesson with giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. I just want to get into this quick hit, man, before I, hit the hay, man, and, get back to the plantation tomorrow, man. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach. It's chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright." And heart is going into your mind, man. Your la'ab in the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, man. And that language is the Lashawan Kodash, man. The language that they, the Most High, gave unto Moses, man. Which the 10 Commandments were written in, man, on that stone, man. And that language is inscribed, written on, different continents of the world, man, different places of the world. And this is how we know, I'm just adding this point in, man. This is how we know that the Lord's name isn't God, man. It's Yahweh. His name isn't Yeshua, Yeshaya, all these other things, man. And what this world and who this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man, that's not his name, man. Because the J's and so forth weren't made until like the 1600s, if I'm not mistaken. But so-called Jesus Christ, in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, it is Yahushai, man. Yahweh, which is the Heavenly Father, and Yahushai, which is so-called Jesus Christ, man. All right, Ecclesiasticus 2:1. "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright." Set your heart aright, man. "And constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble." Through whatever things you might go through, man, don't add unto your troubles already, man. Make not haste. I'm gonna go into that real quick. Let me see. It says, make Salakia. Make not haste in time of trouble. And it reads right here in the AI overview. It says, "Make not haste in time of trouble" is a directive found in Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 2, verse 2 of the King James Version in the Apocrypha. And it says right here, it advises patience, constancy, and endurance during adversity rather than reacting with panic or hurried. Is a big one right here. Unwise decisions. Making unwise decisions, man. You stressed out, man. Shaitan or, these demons, be tempting you with certain things, man. Don't give into those things, man. For the scriptures say, there's no, let me get that real quick, man. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, and it reads, "There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But the Most High, Yahweh, is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. But will with temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." Through certain things, man, pray unto the Lord whenever you have a feeling of, or whenever you feel, those wicked thoughts come in your mind, man, of doing certain things you're not supposed to be doing, man. Talking to myself first and foremost, man. Because we're still in this flesh, man, and we're gonna, fight these demons, man, whether it be, drinking, messing with women. Sometimes, it's wise, to stay away from things like that, man. It's wise to stay away from those things, man. especially in these times, man. You know, our focus, you know, talking to myself first, you know, our focus should be on this truth, man. Pushing this truth, you know, reading, studying, fasting, you know, hitting the gym. If brothers hit the gym, you know, taking care of your bodies, you know, taking care of this temple, man. You know, certain things are good for you in season, man. And things can be bad for you if you indulge in them too much, man. I'm going to read this again. It says, it advises patience, constancy, and endurance during adversity rather than reacting with panic or hurried, unwise decisions. Emphasizing trusting Yahweh through trials, I'm not going to read the rest. You know, emphasizing trusting Yahweh through trials, man. I'm going to go back to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 3. It reads, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You know, and cleave unto him is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know, pray to the Most High to deliver you, you know, from evil, man, temptation, man. You know, pray that he guides your steps in these wicked days, man, in these last days, man. You know, we're in the last seconds of, you know, the Lord, you know, first, you know, shit got to hit the fan, you know, then that MOTB got to be implemented. And then World War III, man. And then the Lord's going to come back, man. He's going to crack the sky and he's going to fight with all the nations. You know, they shall meet him in the sky and they shall fight, man. Roughly paraphrasing. I don't want to butcher it, man. Right here, verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And this is verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. You know, anything that you may go through, man. You know, whether it may be, you know, financial situations, you know, custody battles, if any brothers got custody battles. You know, yeah, financial things. You know, physical ailments, you know, feeling down sometimes, you know. Whenever you feel these things, man, hey, be thankful, man. Hey, the Most High is dealing with you, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is dealing with you, man. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient without our change to a low state. You know, whenever you are brought to a low state, man, whether it's things that bother you in the flesh, man, hey, be patient. You got to be patient and endure these things, man. You know, pray that the Most High, you know, hey, guides you through these things, man. Whatever it may be, whatever you need help with, man. Ask and ye shall receive, as the scriptures say, man. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You know, hey, gold is tried in the fire, man. You know, we're being molded, you know, by the Most High, man. You know, he's like the the blacksmith, man. You know, we gotta burn off these impurities, man. As what you put gold in the fire. Once you put gold in the fire, you know, you burn off all the impurities and you make it shine, man. So that's what we got to do with ourselves, man. Whenever we're brought into the furnace of adversity, man, different trials to test our faith, man. You know, and changing our mind in the way we live in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You know, rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of our abilities. This is verse 6. Sirach chapter 2 verse 6, believe in him and he will help thee. And who was I just talking about, man? Hey, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Yea, that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall, man. And you know, if you fall, man, you know, let me get this. Let's see. Bear with me, Salakia. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief, man. You know, a just man, you know, sometimes you may fall, man. Certain things may come up, man. But hey, that's why it says endure to the end, man. Because if you're not going through things, you won't be saved, man. For a just man falls 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief, man. You know, these wicked people are going to continue to do wicked things, man. You know, pray that you don't, you know, pray that, the Most High gives you strength to endure, you know, whenever you're brought to your lowest estate, man. You can be homeless, you know, living in your car, you know, things of that nature, man. Hey, the Most High is dealing with you, man. You know, but if you fall, man, you gotta keep that mentality of diligently enduring, man, through whatever obstacles may come your way, man. And you gotta face it head on, man. Don't put your back to it. Don't run away from it. Don't put it off to the side, man. Handle it in that same day, man. That whenever it pops up, man. As soon as it pops up. You know, don't dwell on things, man. Situate things and get them out the way, man. Pray that the Most High, it helps you with that. You know, because, hey, we know this flesh. You know, let me get this precept, man. That's the spirit. It's right here, Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. And it reads, For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. You know, it says the flesh lusteth against the spirit, man. They battle against each other, man. And the spirit against the flesh. But you got to be in the mentality of following the spirit more, man. Denying your flesh, putting off things that you want to do, man. You know, hey, man's goings are of the ways of the Lord, man. Let me just get that real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24, and it reads, man's goings are of the way of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. How can a man then understand his own way, man? You know, you can't, man. You know, hey, the Lord laughs at you when you make your own plans, man, because, hey, it's his movie, man. He's the director, man. We're just playing it out, man. Galatians 5:17 from the top again. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. So like, I was just gonna read the first one right there, you know. But the point is, man, you know, enduring until the end. Let me get this precept to close on now, man. Like I said, just a quick hit before I gotta hit the hay, man. Gotta wake up at 3. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13, and it reads, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved, man. You know, whenever these certain things may pop up, you know, hey, make sure you don't let it, you don't think on it too much, man. Like, dwell on it, man. You know, get things situated, man. Pray to Yahweh, you know, fast when you need to, man. Talking to myself first and foremost, man, to purge off these demons, man. Because we know as we get closer to the Lord's return, man, hey, these spirits are gonna be hyped up, man. They're gonna be, you know, riled up, man. But if we endure until the end, man, hey, we shall be saved, man. We shall be striving to be part of the 144,000, man. You know, the brothers out here teaching, you know, pushing this word, man. You know, Lord's will, man. You know, that's why we say, you know, we hope to be of the hopeful elect, man. You know, we are prisoners of hope, man, as the scriptures say, man. Prisoners of hope. You know, but with that, I hope this lesson was, exhorting and edifying to the brothers. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. With that, I'd like to say Shalom, Abba